TOA community, welcome everybody back to the channel. Robert Linkle, trainingtheolderadult.com. Want to talk to you today about a concern I have for the aging body and the concern of building muscular strength, increasing bone density, fighting off obesity, keeping your bodies healthy and not getting hurt at the same time. This big concern comes in the form of a question of, if I lift heavier weights, am I going to get hurt? Now, this has been voiced to us by many clients, many different individuals over the years. This is a very common, I am going to say misconception, okay? Because this is a misconception. A lot of people have it in their heads right now that if I lift a heavier load, that I'm going to get hurt. Simply, number one, because you're older does not mean that you can't lift heavy weights. Number two, anyone lifting a weight that's too heavy for them at any age, they can get hurt in doing so. So there's always a risk. However, if you are progressed properly and trained by a professional who knows the proper steps, the proper progressions, the right techniques, all the right reps and sets and volumes and schemes, and they tell you, hey, I think you're ready for a heavier load, your body has adapted to this load and to progressively overload to get your body to react, increasing its bone density by making more osteoclasts to bind your bones and make them harder, to create more actin and myosin binding sites in the muscle to create a stronger and or bigger muscle, to burn off more body fat and maintain a cardiovascular health, increase your mind's ability to process oxygenated blood flow and increase your clarity and your thinking and your sleep and your speech and all of this cognition training. All of this is beneficial from resistance training. And the big key to that is selecting a load that is overload enough. That's a key word here. This isn't overload like we're going to hurt you. It's too much. Overload means what you're currently used to lifting. Your body needs a little bit more than that to make it adapt to this new load. This new overload eventually, as you get stronger and stronger, becomes regular load, and then you need a new overload. And at some point, you build, and we're just damn strong, and we hang on to that strength. But, sorry to burst the bubble, 2 and 5 and 7.5 pound dumbbells are not heavy enough, okay? You've got to lift heavier loads, folks. I understand some of you have injuries. I understand that some of you maybe have hurt yourselves in the past by attempting to lift some heavier weights. The point being is you need to try. We need to work on progressions and work on ways to work with your limitation, not around it. So if, for example, every time you try to press overhead heavier, you hurt yourself, why don't we try pulling from overhead heavier? That way you still get to work the same action, the same path of weighted load, but instead of pushing it there, you're gonna pull it there. The end result is very similar, the range of motion, bone density, strength, etc. The primary mover might be different. Instead of my delts, it's more my lats or my chest, or something along those lines. The goal here is can we try to put more stress on your body? Now let's look at some of the research here and why I wanted to point up this. And now, both of these articles, I'll tell you, this first one, 2007, I think the other one's 2007 as well. They're not new, okay? But what they do really well is talk about one simple thing in great detail, all right? So I want to talk about why we need to work with this progressive load and the purpose for why that strength is so valuable to what we do in real life, okay? So this first one looks at two groups of folks. They split them up. They had, I think, 3 or 4 different exercises, if I remember what they did, and they used about 70 to 80% of their 1 rep maximum load. So let's say a 7 out of 10 on an RPE or a 70% of 100% of your maximal lift, okay? And creating and selecting that load, there's many different ways to do it, but typically you do a weight for a set of 10, and if you can't do an 11th rep, that means that's your 10 rep maximum, and there's a projection that says you just did 100 for 10 reps. That means you can do 150 once or something along those lines, right? Okay, so based on that number, we now use our percentage, about 70% or a 7 out of 10 on your RPE, rate of perceived exertion, self-assessing scale. And they would do 1 set to absolute maximum failure. Like they literally could not do another rep. Someone get to 15, someone get to 27, someone get to 30, someone get to 20. It just didn't matter. It was 1 attempt, as many bench presses as you could do, where you just literally could not move the bar anymore. That's all they did. 1 attempt on every single exercise. And then they did it for 9 weeks, okay? Now the other group did the exact same thing, but they did it twice a week. Instead of just on Tuesdays, they did it on Tuesdays and then Fridays, or whatever the study says. They had 72 hours of rest in between. And so you look across the board and go, well, it makes sense to me that the people that come in twice a week, they got twice as much work in. After 9 weeks, if we assess them, we're going to see that they got stronger. That's what most people think, okay? Au contraire, mon frère, or however that saying goes. They pretty much had the same results, okay? Everybody got stronger, which was awesome. Even if you trained just once a week or if you train twice a week. And again, this isn't really training. This is more of a research project to see what's the most efficient, because you're literally only doing one set. But there's Mike Mentzer's style of training and bodybuilding back in the day where they did this, okay? And they thought this to be the best way to tear and rip muscle fiber in a good way that made people really, really strong, okay? So in doing this, over the two efforts, or 9 weeks, twice a week or once a week, they found that their end results were pretty much identical, pretty close. Everybody got stronger across the board. Point being is, if you're training 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, the point is you have to work with a heavier load to get stronger. Even if you're only training once a week, you can still get just as strong as those that are training twice. Now, does that mean you only need to train once a week? No. I think what this study doesn't do is 9 weeks. That's it. You can't test bone density. You can't you can't study muscle girth measurements of the muscle mass. You can't really get any results other than what did their performance say when retesting the same lift again. Everybody got stronger. Once a week, twice a week, even if you did it 3 days a week, I would guess everybody got stronger, okay? And about the same. Now, more opportunities to stress your bones and muscles to external load, the better. If we did this study for, say, 2 years, which is a pretty good amount of time to scan a before and after bone density score, then I think you would see a significant change between 1 day a week and 2, as you're getting more opportunities to stress the bone, to build more muscle mass, to stress the joints, work them all through. Again, this is all good stress, gang. As long as you're doing it properly, you're gonna be good. You gotta have faith in your programming and your process. You gotta lift some heavy loads. Even if it's only once a week, lift the heavier load. Now, I would love to see a study, I don't have anything for this, but that showed like a 30% maximal effort to absolute failure right across the board, 1 day a week and twice a week, and see if they got stronger. I bet you they would get more muscularly endured. That does not mean stronger, okay? Big difference between muscular endurance and strength. You watch someone do a push-up and you go, that guy's strong, he did a push-up, okay? You watch another guy do 100 push-ups. Is he stronger than the guy that only did one? Or is he more muscularly endured, okay? He can move a light load, especially if you just did 100. Your body weight is super, super light. It's about 60%, 62%, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. When you're in a push-up, it's about 62% of your body weight. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 67 sounds familiar, something like that. Don't quote me, okay? 2/3 your body weight. Let's just go safely around there. If I'm 200 pounds, I'm 160 pounds, 150 pounds, whatever it is, and doing a push-up, okay? So from there, that ability to push that light of a load over and over and over and over and over again, you're moving out of power, 1, 2, 3 reps, okay, really, really fast. You're moving beyond strength, 8 to 15, and you're working into muscular endurance zone, where yes, you have strong muscles that are able to do a little bit of work over and over and over again. Basically, can your lungs pump enough oxygenated blood flow to your muscles to get your muscles to do this little bit of work over and over and over? That's called muscular endurance. People that run don't have huge bulky muscles. Those that have huge bulky muscles don't run all that well, right? You're either really, really strong and big and built and muscular, or you're really, really well and endured. And the ones that are somewhere in the middle, which is what we're all trying to produce, okay, is someone who's really well conditioned and pretty strong. You're not great at one or great at the other, but you're pretty damn good at both, okay? That's a true strength and conditioning program. That's what we're trying to build on all of you. So we need to move some medium heavy loads, 50% to 88%. 80% or an 8 on an RPE scale, somewhere between a 5 and an 8 or a 50 to 80% of your load. You got to work with some heavier loads, gang. Okay. Now, why are we so stressed about this, and why is it so important for us to work the strength into daily life? Okay. Here's what a client said to me. I don't want to work with anything heavier than 5-pound dumbbells because I don't lift anything that's more than 5 pounds. Okay. And I said, all right, let's think about this. It got me thinking right away, do you go grocery shopping? She said yes. So let's go take a look. What does the average grocery bag get loaded with? So after looking through all this research, and I know exactly how much a plastic bag, 36 pounds, and a paper bag, 19 pounds, can hold and what they're structured to build, but how much do they actually get loaded with? Both get about half of that. So the average paper bag loaded in the grocery store gets about 4 kilos or 9 to 10 pounds. The average paper bag, 36 pounds is its max. It gets around 18 to 20 pounds of actual weight loaded in them. So let's say you get 2 bags of groceries and they're paper bags and you've got about 10 pounds and about 10 pounds in each hand. You're now walking in, farmer carry, with 20 pounds in hand, okay? You do that at least once a week. If you garden and you move anything with a soil or a bucket or a trash can to take your trash cans out, if you move your dog food, if you pick up a purse that has a phone, a wallet, a pair of keys, a scrunchie, a hairbrush, a pocket knife, your chapstick, your lip balm, your lotion, your gloves, your beanie, your sunglasses, your visor, your yo-yo, your frisbee, your fucking whatever else you're carrying around with you in your purse, in your tote bag of shit that you're carrying with you, whatever you're having in there, it weighs more than 5 pounds, okay? Whatever we do through the day, picking up a laundry basket with all your laundry in it weighs more than 5 pounds. We lift more than 5 pounds, everybody. We do it all the time. So what the hell? What are you telling me that you can only lift 5 pounds in the weight room for because you're gonna get hurt because you don't do it in the rest of your life? Your shoes weigh 2.5 pounds, for crying out loud, okay? You are gonna pick up things that are heavy. You are gonna move them in awkward and odd positions all the time. That's when you're gonna get hurt. That's because you're not preparing and building the strength around your body to move it the way we want. I had a client tell me today, I read all of your sarcopenia facts about, hey, your bones aren't getting soft because you're old, it's because you're weak, right? I put up all these ones, it's because you're weak, because you're weak, because you're weak. The whole point is your bones aren't strong because you're not lifting weights. Your muscles aren't strong and you're losing to gravity because you don't lift weights. You're not able to take big steps and stand up with good posture because your body's weak because you don't lift weights. Everything pointed to that. And so she goes, well, I do all those things and I still have osteoporosis. And what was my answer back? You got to lift heavier weight. Okay, this particular client, and I love you, okay, please don't take offense. You only lift 5 to 8, maybe 10 pounds on occasion. You got to lift heavier weight. Now I will give you props. You have a 8 and a 12 kilo kettlebell and you do deadlift heavy. That's going to save you, I think. But on our other lifts, we got to lift heavier. Remember, I'm not here to make fun or poke fun at people. I'm here to help. The whole idea here is to motivate and inspire people to make change. I want you to understand why I want you to lift heavier weights. Let's think of it this way too. If you currently use 7.5 pound dumbbells to do your curls, and you're like, Rob, this is 15 pounds, get off my back, okay? What happens if you go to 10 in each hand? What do we have? We have a 5 pound jump, 2.5 pounds in each hand. And you say, that's pretty good. It's more than a 5 pound jump. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 for your set of 10. It's a 50 pound jump. Then you do 3 rounds of that. That's a 150 pound jump. And you do that for all 3 of the upper body exercises you just did, okay? That's a 450 pound jump. Do you see what I'm talking about now? You just moved a crap load more weight. Not quite a fuck ton, but a crap load of more weight, okay? Your body's gonna drastically thank you for that. 450 pounds, that's a lot. That's 2 of me. You just threw 2 of me on your workout, okay? That's a lot of extra load. Let's say you go for a walk and you wear a vest, and that vest has a pair of 8 pounds in it. My wife is calling. We're gonna do this live on the air, everybody. Hi, honey. I'm recording a video for YouTube. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, but I'll talk to you later.
She's doing good. She's gonna call me back. Okay, love you. Bye-bye. I didn't want to not answer, right? And have it because she's coming home to get me. So I didn't want to not answer. So we did that live together. Wasn't that fun? See, part of our life, daily life right here, baby. Okay. Coming home with groceries. That's why she's calling me. Come on, help me carry this stuff in. Why? Because we got $450 worth of groceries. We need more than 2 people. Actually, I load them all on my arms and I take all 800 pounds of groceries in with me all at once. Anyhow, such macho thing. And you think I'm joking? I really do that. As long as there's no like bread or eggs in there, load it up, baby. Give it all to me. I'll take it in one shot. Okay, what was I talking about? The walking. Okay, we're walking and we're going to carry a vest with 10 pounds. Is that just an extra 10 pounds? It's not. Every step, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. How many steps do you take if you walk a mile? About 2,000, okay? Somewhere right around in there, depending on how long your stride is, etc. Okay? 5,280 feet. Average person takes a 2 to 2.5 foot step. If you're 6 foot or over, it's taller, it's longer, etc. So let's just call it 2,000 feet, okay? 2,000 steps. 2,000 times an extra 10, what do you got? Do your math. That's how many pounds? That's 20,000 pounds? 20,000 pounds, right? That's a lot of weight. And you think, boy, was my body going to respond to that? Hell yeah, it's going to respond to that. What's the only thing, if you're wearing a vest, what's the only thing that doesn't have load on it? Your head, your arms, okay? That's about it. The rest of your frame is carrying an extra 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds with every step, going uphill, going downhill, even greater impacts, right? Going downhill than uphill. Uphill, it's probably a little less. Going downhill, it's a hell of a lot more, okay? You're slowing down an extra 10 pounds every step you take. Do you all see the points that I'm making? Every little pound counts, gang. Every little pound matters. So if you can go from 2.5s to 5s, do it. If you can go from 5s to 7.5s, do it. If you go from 7.5s to 8s, and you have to go to Target and buy new weights because they're 8s, if you need to get 1 pound increment adjustable dumbbells, which they make, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can go up by 1 pound increments. It's just a little unscrew and you drop out a pound. Get them, okay? Make these changes. Why? Because real life, we're carrying groceries. We're moving dog food. We're picking up grandkids. You're working in the yard. You're working in your house. You're doing the laundry. You're cleaning the bathroom. You're doing things that are physically demanding. And when do you hurt yourself? It's not in the weight room. 97% of the time, it's not in the weight room, okay? We have a 3% injury rate, down from 4% 2 years ago. 3% injury rate in the weight room. Okay, do you know where most accidents occur? In the bathroom. People are falling, getting in and out of the bathroom. Where do most people hurt themselves? Somewhere inside their homes, probably because that's where they are most of the time. That stat's a little touchy, right? But point being is, it's during regular day life stuff, right? And we need to be strong for those actions. So I understand your concern. I truly do. It's heartfelt. I truly understand the concern of, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt either. It doesn't do me any good for you to get hurt. If you're my client, it doesn't do me any good. It makes me look terrible. You got hurt, right? Now you're not training. Now I'm not getting paid. Now you're not happy. You're not telling your friends. You're not posting about me on Facebook. Like, all those things are negative. It doesn't do me any good. But when I look at you and I say, I think you can do more weight, it's not me going, I hope she can do more weight, right? I don't know, let's hope this doesn't backfire. It's not that. It's me in my head going, this is so freaking easy. I can see. She's thinking about everything else. She's just moving this along like it's whistling Dixie, okay? We're just having a good time. Increase the load. I know you can do it. I don't hope you can do it. I don't think you can do it. I don't, maybe you can do it. I know you can do it. You know why? 22 freaking years of me doing this. I know you can do it. I won't put you in harm's way. I promise. You need to find somebody like me that can make that comment to you. If you are nervous about this, it makes, hey, you got a shoulder injury, I got it. You got a back injury, I got it. Maybe we're not overhead pressing you. Maybe we're pulling overhead. Maybe we're face pulls. Maybe we're shoulder raising. Maybe we're doing something that will get that shoulder strong. But what I'm not going to do is ignore your shoulder strength. What I'm not going to do is every time you squat and it hurts your knee, I'm just going to go, let's just not do squats then. Well, how are we ever going to improve this? We have to overload it. We have to get it stronger. As long as you don't have a structurally damaged body that requires physical therapy or surgery, I got you, okay? We can help. I can help. Your coaches can help. Your trainers can help. You got to trust us, though. And if you don't trust them, find somebody that you do. But you got to move load. There has to be overload. Something wrapping up here, okay? I'm down to my last minute, promise. Try to keep these under 20 minutes so people are encouraged to listen to the whole thing while they're taking a drive or something like that. Okay, anything over 20 people, I'm killing more time. The SAID principle, specific adaptation to an imposed demand, okay? What is the imposed demand? My body's used to 10 pounds. I'm gonna impose a new demand of 15, right? My body's like, whoa, this is different. We can do it, but it's really hard, okay? So now the new imposed demand is an extra 5 pounds. What is the specific adaptation? Remember SAID, S-A-I-D, specific adaptations to imposed demands, right? What is the specific adaptation? What is it? It's more binding sites. Every time I curl that weight that's just a little too hard for me, right? My actin and myosin, the two actin muscle sides, they start to tear a little bit. They don't sever, they just start to tear a little. And then when I go to sleep and I rest and I eat and I have protein and I get sunlight and I do all these good things, it binds up a little tighter. Okay. Now, if I really tear it, it'll throw down another handshake. It'll throw down another binding site. Now I get bigger. And that's how you grow your muscles, hypertrophy, versus just making stronger binding sites, strength training. And that all depends on how you want to train, what your training purpose is. Do you want to get bigger or do you just want to get stronger? Majority of my clients, 99 out of 100 of them, were just getting stronger. I don't have any clients that are too muscular. Okay, not one of them has come to me and been like, I'm too big, I'm too muscular, Rob. I'm too awesome. We need to taper back the awesome a little bit. That hasn't happened yet. If that ever happens, I'll let you know. But up till now, we're just trying to get people really strong. So you need to find an imposed demand that you can specifically adapt to, okay? Everybody follow? Said principle, specific adaptations to imposed demands. I got you. I love you all. I hope you're doing well. Comments, questions, hit me up down below. If not, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia and osteopenia and osteoporosis and obesity. Osteosarcobesity, the big three. We're coming for you, osteosarcobesity. We're not going to take it anymore, osteosarcobesity. We're going to get strong, baby. No more victims for you. No more statistical increases for you. We're coming for you. We're dropping this mean. We're curving that bell curve down. We're shaving that puppy. That's probably enough. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Comments down below. Much love. I appreciate you all. Take care. Bye-bye.